Then they started telling me, they're like, we have some bad news. There's been a person in our organization that was telling people that you are trans. And I'm just like, who? And they told me that the dude that was outing me without my permission was gay. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I decided to do a video in my car just because I'm doing a lot of stuff right now, not just with YouTube, but just life stuff. So I decided to do this quick part 2, being trans in college and how that was different for me. Sorry to the people who commented to keep my hair. By that time, I had already gotten a haircut. Hope you guys like it. Hope you guys keep subscribing and liking. So there was 2 points that I forgot to tell you guys last week in my first part. In college, my dorming situation was not too bad, actually. So I was at my old college for about 2.5 years, almost 3 years, and I ended up starting college late because I had legal name troubles, and I think I said in my other video already that they had the wrong name. That name mishap made me start college late, and so I started 1 semester late. So I started in the spring semester, and I guess I was supposed to have a roommate. That's what they claimed. But before I went to college in December, when I was filling out the dorm questionnaire, I was just basically requesting my own room because I was trans, and I kind of wanted that privacy because I wasn't transitioned yet. I didn't have top surgery, so I just really didn't want to be in the same room as anyone else. I didn't know if I was going to be with a boy or a girl, but either way it goes, I think I still would have been uncomfortable. I got to college and I ended up having my own room, and I thought it was because I requested that. Basically, the whole semester went by and I thought the school was just being nice and they gave me my own room because I requested it. But when I went to go talk to whoever's in charge of residence life, so I went to go talk to them, and basically they were saying that we can't give you your own room, blah, 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 all this stuff, right? So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? So I ended up dorming with a guy, and I'm going to tell you the story in a minute, right? The first semester, right, I joined a group, and it was called APO, and basically it was like a service fraternity. So it was just basically us doing volunteer work, and it was co-ed. It was like 200 people in there. So there was a guy in there, and we weren't really that close. Like, he was close to one of my other friends who I got close to, but we weren't close personally. And I heard from someone else that he wanted to be my roommate, and like, basically it just seemed like he had made plans to be my roommate when I didn't even know like him as a person. So when I heard that, like, someone else told me, and then I was like, okay, I'm just thinking it was a joke or whatever. And then she told me again, and she's like, oh, you're living with him next year, right? And I'm like, what? So I ended up asking him out to lunch. So, we were able to chat a little bit, and then he was just nonchalant about the whole thing. So he was like, yeah, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And, so this guy was also LGBT, like he was gay. I felt more comfortable rooming with him because I knew that he was accepting, and I knew that going into it, he wouldn't judge me. So then I went back to the residence life guy, the coordinator, and I basically told him like, hey, don't worry about it. You don't have to fight for me with the board. I'm able to live with someone else. He was kind of hostile about it. He was like, good, well, you should be living with someone else. You shouldn't want to live alone. And I'm like, did you even hear why I decided to come to you? Like, did you understand why I came to you about wanting to live alone in the first place? Like, I'm not just a regular kid in college. I'm trans, and I don't have surgery, no type of surgery. At this point, I had no type of surgery. So that whole year was great. Like, that was one of the most fun years of my life. That's when I joined a fraternity, and we were living with, I think, 6 other guys. So it was 3 rooms, and then 2 people in each room. So, it was pretty dope. Like, I didn't mess with those guys all like that. Like, those wasn't my hardcore friends, but it was still nice to, have some cool people to live with, and it was just a nice experience altogether. No complaints, really. Except, so, I'm thinking that I'm going to live on campus for the whole semester, right? But my finances every year changed, and it was always hard for me to get in school, and you know, every semester I have a problem with my financial aid. Like every semester I was doing things that my roommate didn't like. Not really gonna get into certain activities on this channel, but you know, he didn't like that I was doing that, but I had to do it for money. Like I didn't really have a lot of money, so I had to do this thing that I was doing. And you know, I get it, you know, as a roommate you don't want to be involved in that type of stuff. So, and just like finances altogether was hard. Like I had to get like $4,000 from my family just to finish the semester off and make sure I could like pay for my room and board. And this is when my mom was asking my dad for like book money, and at this point like I was only spending about $250 in books and he wouldn't even pay that. So you know, it's like um it's really hard for me to talk to my dad these days, and it's not because I'm so like utterly upset at him. It's just time is money, and I know that he is not going to give me any money. Like I'm not going to give him my time when he's not going to at least help me with money, you know what I'm saying? But that's another video. I'll probably get into my dad, because I don't even talk about my dad on this channel, so I could definitely do another video and kind of talk about my dad's, like the pros and cons of my dad. So comment below if you want to hear a video like that. But yeah, back to the school thing. So my mom was helping me a lot, and then I just realized that it was going to be too much to handle. So I decided to move off campus. I thought that was going to be the best scenario. I was going to be able to save on food. I was going to be able to save on, you know, rent and all that, because they make you get a certain meal plan when you're on campus. Especially if you're a freshman, they make you get like the highest meal plan, and the room and board is crazy. Like it shouldn't be that much for the amount of time that you spend on campus. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially having to share a room and having to share this whole living space, and it's not even like that much. Like, oh my god, college is like the absolute biggest scam. Like, you guys are talking about scams online. Like, go to college and come out with debt and not have a job waiting for you. Like, that is a scam. So long story short, I moved off campus, and after that, like I stayed off campus for like a year and a half, because that was the longest amount of time that I spent on campus. And my financial aid just got worse. Like the next year I basically had no financial aid, because my mom, she was making too much, because they take the taxes from like 2 years before. So 2 years before, my mom had got a promotion that I wasn't aware of. I was aware of, but I didn't know how it would affect my financial aid. And then she moved out of state, so I wasn't getting any in-state aid. So it was just all bad. Like my finances just got worse and worse and worse, and my financial aid got cut and cut. Like every semester I just had more problems. Like every spring semester though is good. Like all my spring semesters, my finances been Gucci. Like I've never had a problem. But the fall, they hit me up after summer on some BS. With the dorming situation, I only had to really live with someone for one semester. So I was living by myself with my own room for basically my entire college career. Now I am living with my girlfriend, so you know that's different, but that's fine because it's really just the two of us, and she goes to work a lot, so you know, I'm not really sharing my living space like that. I don't have to be wary of what I'm doing. So, you know, we're basically on the same page with everything. Before I end the video, I'm going to tell you guys 2 scenarios that happened within my fraternity, right? When I first joined my fraternity, it was 2018. I think it was September. Yeah, it was like September 2018. And after I got really cool with the boys, all the newbies, like everyone who had just gotten to bed, we all had to go to like it's like a newbie Greek meeting where they teach you about hazing, and they teach you about what a Greek organization is and what you guys should be doing. They teach you about the whole philanthropy aspect. And so there was an organization, and I'm pretty sure it was a sorority, but they wanted to use gender neutral terms. So they were talking like not brother and sister, but sibling. So it was just, you know, a different take on Greek life, and a lot of people were just ignorant to it. So afterward, I'm walking out of the meeting, and I'm with 3 of my other brothers, and they start talking about trans people. Like, I don't even know how we got on the topic, really, like from the whole sibling thing and from that one organization, but they just started talking about trans people. They're like, oh, I don't think our president would allow a person to, like a trans person, to join our organization. Do you think that happens? Like, I don't think so. I don't think they would allow that. And basically all this stuff, like, not really positive, just kind of ignorant stuff. So no one knew that I was trans at this point. Like, I was stealth. This is at the point where I was 1 year on T, and nobody could tell that I was trans, even though I didn't even have top surgery. Like, my binder was doing a pretty good job. So yeah, and I was just really quiet, and then we got in the car, and I was just like quiet, like I didn't say anything, and it just kind of hurt me because one of my friends, like, even I still consider him a close friend, he was the one who was partaking in this ignorant conversation. And so I went to our mutual friend, because we had a mutual friend, and she was a girl, and I told her, hey, like, so all this stuff, and I just don't know how to come out to him now, da 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 da. And she helped me through it. And I'm so grateful for a lot of people back in Geneseo, because I really found some of the best friends when I went to college. That was my first situation where it was kind of like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether I should speak up, da 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 da. And I didn't speak up, and it made me feel like crap, honestly. I didn't do that anymore. Like, after that situation, I promised myself that I will always speak up. And after that situation, I actually started coming out to a lot of my brothers, because I felt like I was doing them a disservice by not telling them that I was trans, because they would just probably go around life thinking that they don't know anyone that's trans. So I said, I don't want to do that to the people around me. Like, if someone's close to me, they deserve to know that I'm trans, so that they're not ignorant to what a trans person is, and that they don't look at me like I'm regular, because I'm not. And even though, I'm transitioning to live a life where I can be stealth if I choose, I don't want to be stealth with the people that are in my life. With strangers, it's different, because I like seeing their reaction. Like, I like seeing their reaction when I say that I was a girl, and they're like, what? No way. So, it's intriguing to people, my look and everything. But I appreciate being stealth, because I can still go to the grocery store without everyone just looking at me, and going into public places and not having to have that awkward tension of what kind of pronouns do I use with you. So that's where it's easier. But I didn't do this so I could be stealth to everyone. Like, I don't want to be stealth to everyone. I want some people to know that I'm trans. I want you guys to know everything that I go through as a trans person. So, in my everyday life, it's helpful, but I don't want to leave my trans identity behind, because I can now, you know what I'm saying? Another situation happened to me right before I left. I think it was the semester before I left. And oh my God, guys. So basically, I'm not going to say names, because I don't want to crap on people, but there was a guy in my fraternity, and basically, when I wasn't there, he outed me. And I didn't even know until my president and my vice president called me in for a meeting. And I'm thinking that I'm in trouble. I'm thinking that I did something wrong. I'm thinking that they're going to come at me because I haven't been paying my dues. Because, like I said, it was a very difficult financial situation that last year of school. That's why I couldn't go to that school anymore. It wasn't that I didn't want to go to that school. It was just because I literally just couldn't afford it. Then they started telling me, they're like, we have some bad news. There's been a person in our organization that was telling people that you are trans. And I'm just like, who? And they told me that the dude that was outing me without my permission was gay. As a member, like, I'm going to tell you guys, if you guys are a part of the LGBT group and you are outing someone that you're not cool with, like, you don't know them all like that. We wasn't close. Like, I didn't hang with this guy on the regular. Like, I never hung out with him one-on-one. I didn't text his phone, like, let's chill. None of that. So it was surprising that he would say to other people that I was trans. I'm not totally mad at the guy. Like, really, I'm not, because I know why he did it. Like, he was doing it because he was so surprised. And I know a lot of people have done that to me before. I even had another friend who did that to me. And, I told him about it after. Like, don't out people, because, I might be okay with it, because I'm really open about it. Obviously, I'm talking to the world and telling people about my experiences. But not every trans person is going to be that open, and they're not going to want you to be spreading their business to other people, So I did not give this guy permission. Like, I don't even talk to this guy. So, he was telling a bunch of people that didn't know. I was going around that year making my way around and telling different members of my fraternity. So I think like by the time I was done, I probably told almost 50% of them. So I feel like at least 50% of them knew, and if they didn't know, they probably heard from another person. I just hope that the people who he told, I hope that they weren't ignorant about it and they were like, wow, you know, I would have never thought. And that's my goal here with passing and being transparent with people, because I want you to always be skeptical. Like, don't just think that you can see a trans person, because that's just not true. Like, it's not. All right, guys, I'm really hot in this car, so I'm going to, in the video, like and comment what you would do if that ever happened to you. Comment below if that ever has happened to you, if you had someone out you, or if you've ever been in a situation and you just didn't know what to say. I think it takes a long time for people to, you know, be able to speak up for themselves in certain social situations. So don't beat yourself up if you're not there yet, because it took me years to be able to say, hey, like, that's not right in a conversation. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.